Mesechta Bava Basra, Daf Kuf Samach Beis Amid Aleph. We're starting from Kuf Samach Aleph Amid Beis. 3 lines from the bottom. So yesterday we learned when you write a star and you erase the middle of the star, all you have to do is initial it. That's to verify that whatever you erased and wrote over is real. At the end of the star, where you're supposed to write Shadid V'Kayom, where that means that the star is now all verified. That's at the end of the star. Over there, even if you verified, you erase it, and you verified, it's not going to help. If it's also the place where the amount of words or letters of Shadid V'Kayom would be written. Amar Rav Yitzchak Rav Yosef, 3 lines in the bottom, from Kuf Samach Aleph Amid Beis. That's this. 4 lines from the bottom. Amar Rav Yitzchak Rav Yosef Amar Rav Yochanan. Rav Yitzchak Rav Yosef said in the name of Rav Yochanan, Kol hamechakin kulan, all the erasures of a get that are done in the middle of the get, not at the end of the get, are kosher, but tzarich sheyichtav v'dein ki yumeyayin. You have to write that this was verified. Now, but the Rashbam says you don't have to write the date. You write Kiyim, it was Kiyim Kiyim, or like today we do initial. You initial whatever you've corrected. And then afterwards you add the words that on over the Mechak, you write Shadid V'Kayim. And that's the end. And they them sign, okay. Because if you don't verify it, then you could say that what it was crossed out and you wrote it over, but you have to do it before you write the word Shadid V'Kayim, because if it was after Shadid V'Kayim and then you wrote it, it could be it's a false start. You wrote over anything you wanted after. Meaning that if between the chsima of the star and the teicha and the writing of the star, there's a line in between. So the empty line. So write a chazara. I don't know, a little preview of what the whole star talks about. A little chazara. A kitzur of the whole what the star is all about. Yeah. So in the last line. In fact, one of my time. What's the reason for it? Because the last line is ineffective. Whatever you write in it, you can't, even if you want to write something new. And plus, there was another $10,000 loan you want to write. It's not going to be. It's going to be worthless because the last line is ineffective. So the way to fill it in is to make a little chazara of what happened in the beginning of the start.
Is the last line the signatures?
No, then is an empty line and then the signature. If there's a line in between the signatures and the writing of the star, write chazar. Don't use any vital things that you need, because it's ineffective in that last line. That last line is made for chazara. Okay, how do you know that the last line is ineffective? He answered, the Tanya we learned in the Braisa. If there were 2 lines separating between the chsima and the writing of the star, puzzle, then the star is for sure puzzle. Shita achas, but if it was only 1 line separating between the chsima of the star and the writing of the star, then it's going to be kosher.
What's the difference?
Oh, Maishna, what's going to be the difference? Says the Gemara, Shnei Shitin, if it's 2 lines, Dilma Mezaiva Kosher. We're afraid that we said only which line is ineffective, the last line. But if you have 2 lines, so the line before will squeeze in a new loan. Will say, and he loaned me another, and then I lent him another $10,000. So therefore, the 2 lines we have to be chayes from Yazuyif. But if it's 1 line, we don't have to. But shita acha, 1 shita, we don't have to be worried about. Maybe he'll be mezai. In fact, you want to follow us in the shita acha is not mezai v'kosef. 1 line he can write also that there was another little loan that I lent him more money, or another provision, or it's not, and it's not for a year. The loan, it's only for 30 days. He could have wrote it tonight. He changed, yeah. We're not afraid of mezuyah. Why? Nothing. That if it's only written on the last line, whatever you write on it is not going to be. It's worthless. And so you see, you're not afraid for
You
Ziyuf
don't write a chazara
because
on
it's ineffective. Whatever you're going to write, it's not going to be effective
it.
anyway.
You write a chazara on it, right?
What? Oh, Chazara, yeah.
When you say that, he's not filling in anything new. Just
But no, but you want to say, you said by 2 lines you're afraid of Ziyuf. By 1 line not. Why not? Just like by 2 lines you're afraid of Ziyuf, maybe he's going to be Messiah in the last line. No, is that right? The last line, he can be Messiah in the Markin. It's going to help him because it's ineffective. So that's why we write just Chazara. Shmami, no, it's not Raya from here. Ibaylahu, the Yamada.
already.
Yeah, I'm saying it slow. Ibaylahu. The Bnei Yeshiva had a suffix
Skip
If-
the sheet, skip the line.
if he had a space left over. Shito Machza, a line and a half. Till now we spoke about it. 2 lines or 1? How about if it's 1.5? What's going to be the din? Are we going to say, okay, since there's not enough to write the full 2 shuris, right? So the star is kosher because he said only 2 shuris is possible. Or perhaps we should be concerned that the balashtar, we said the second to the last line will be effective. It's only the last line that's not effective. So he has a half a line to write something. So maybe we should be afraid. In that half a line, I can susham, he can get another new thing in.
Right, fish in 10,000 over there.
Yeah, maybe. You can write it in small. Okay, you have to read the fine print. You have to read the little prints. Sagt the Gemara, Tashma, come here and I'll answer you. In the previous Braisa we just learned, Hirchik esa edim shnei shitin puzzle. We said, if between this chsima and the writing of the star there were 2 lines, then the star is going to be puzzle. You could be medaik only if it's 2 lines separating between the chsima and the writing. Oh, shitu matzah, but if it would be a line and a half, it's kosher. So you have a raya. Says Yimar Shvach raya. Read the sefer. Ema sefer. Look what it says in the sefer of that same Braisa. Shita achas kosher. It says only 1 line. If you, is it? Okay.
Play with words,
But
right?
the sefer. Okay. So the sefer writes only how many is going to be kosher. 1 line. But shita achas uda kosher. So I can be medayik. If it's 1 line left over, then it's going to be kosher. Shitu matzah. But if it's more than 1 line, it's 1.5 line. Then it's possible.
What is the Haltamari?
Don't try to bring that eye from this Braisa because this Braisa I can prove you both ways. What's the maskana? What's the answer to the shaila? 1.5 lines. Is it possible or is it kosher?
Because you see what the price tells you.
The Braisa can't prove anything in the
It says
previous
if
verse.
it's only 1 is cautious. So how can
But in the ratio it says only 2 is possible, but 1.5 is kosher.
we round to the nearest line.
So he said you can't prove. So my Allah, what's talking to Maskana? Tashma says you gotta come and I'll bring you a eye from a different Braisa. The Tanya we learned in the Braisa Hirchik esa edem shnei shitim min aksav. If the edem chsim sa'edem were 2 lines of separation from the writing of the star, possible. We said it's possible, but here it says befedish palchis mikam. But if it's less than 2 lines, kosher. You have a fair answer. Less than 2 lines is kosher. So 1.5 lines is a kosher star. The Braisa continues. It says, "Hoyu abba v'chamisha edim achasum al shtar." If in the star there were 4 to 5 edim signed on the star,
Why did so many Adim there?
but he had 5 edim before. We said he likes to be mefarsim.
Before it was 3.
Yeah. I don't think you shouldn't finish edim. The more, the merrier. So much not
Don't
going
they get a fee for signing? Don't they get a fee for signing? Don't they get paid
So
for signing?
before he says with the more signatures, macht a mehr v'ashturim that he owns the money. Anyway, hoya abba v'chamisha chsuma al ashtar. There were 4 to 5 people signed on the star. V'nimtza echad mehem korev apostle. And we found that between the 5 edim, one is a korev or apostle. Tiskayim edis bishar. The star is still good
Because it was 2 Adim.
because there are kosher edim there. There's enough kosher edim to make the
He
star.
wants to be marble with
That's the
Adim.
same thing like Adam Zayn.
But when it comes to Zogen Eidis, state in the Beferish in the Torah, we have a limud, and remember, Eidis Shabbatla Miktsasa Batla Kulam. If they come to testify verbally in Besdin, and one of them is no good, if one is a cut of apostle, the whole Eidis is no good. This is Eidis. But here, Eidis Mishtar is different. I don't it's much deeper. I don't remember the whole pilpul, but Itzik comments, my Shvagya gave a whole pilpul on this. But It's Gamson, Shila Nahivan, so he used to give shiurim on these topics. Sagt die Gemara, so when it comes to Chsima is going to be kosher. You just have to verify the rest of the Eidim. So the Gemara, so what does he want to tell us? Let's say there were 2 lines left over, or I'm sorry, a line left over. He can fill up with the false, not false, with the kroivim of the psulim Eidos in that line. You can have Eidim that are possible and fill up that last line. That's also good. To fill up the gap. Sagt die Gemara, he says this B'raisa of filling up the space with the pasal chsimis, it's still the star is a kosher star. The Alma Chizkiah for Chizkiah said, if between the Eidim and the writing of the star there was a revach of 2 lines, umil ohu, and the Sefer filled it up bikroivim with chsimis Eidim who are kroivim. Kosher, it's still kosher because he has enough Eidim to verify, and he filled up the gap that you're not allowed to have 2 lines in between because it'll be possible. He fills it up with, even though it's Eidim, he filled it up with Eidim Kravim, Eidim Psulim. It's filled up the gap and it's a kosher star. It's like a chazor of the star. But talking with Eidim Psulim, it's fine. No, he says, how could it be? Eidim Psulim is worthless. It's as if it's not there. So we find don't wonder because we have a similar concept. There's a din by a sukkah, in mitten sukkah, if you have avir, space of 3 tvachim, it's puzzle. But when it comes to puzzle eschach, it says only if it's 4 tvachim a puzzle eschach will make the sukkah puzzle. So in that 3 tvachim where if there's only avir, there's only air, it's possible, but if you put pasal eschach in those 3 tvachim, it's going to be kosher, because pasal eschach becomes only pasal if it's 4 tvachim, and he's only filling up a gap with 3 tvachim. 3 tvachim is kosher. So you see, you can fill up a space with pasal eschach. So he came out and filling the empty space with pasal eidos. So he says,
need Eidos, you can bring pasal Eidos also.
No, he's saying to fill up the he's talking about the filling up the empty lines. Come on, I need to fill up the lines.
Eidos,
No, Eidos Shabbat Mitzvah Shabbat Lekula. That's how it is.
But they're all saying separate Eidos.
It does. It says verbally. There's even a shita that says even Eidos in the star. If that Eidos, his whole Eidos is the Eidos that he wrote in the star, not besides saying Eidos. Usually you say Eidos and you sign. It's like to verify that you said it. But if the writing in the star is just that's the Eidos that you want to say, then we say even Eidos Shebishtar if it's Batal Miktsasa Batal Kula. Here the Eidos Shebishtar is not saying Eidos. You said the Eidos, but the Eidos you're signing that you said the Eidos. Then even if it's Batal Miktsasa, it's not Batal Kula. So he says over here. So what does he say? Chizkiah said that if there was between the Chsimis HaEidim and the writing of the star 2 shureis, umil ohu bekroivim, and he filled up the 2 shureis with Chsimis of kroivim, kosher is a kosher star. V'al tisman, you shouldn't wonder, hey, how could you fill up the empty space with pasal eidos? Sharei is everything, but no problem. I'll show you where there's such a concept. We know when you have empty space in the middle of the sukkah without schach, it becomes possible if there's 3 tvachim. Schach possible, but if it's possible schach, you need 4. So you could put possible schach in the 3, and it's not open space, and it's kosher. So you see, you can you fill up the empty space with possible schach. When you have an open space, it's not big, it's 3 tvachim. You have 3 tvachim open space, then the sukkah is filled. No, the rest, if it's 3 tvachim open space, the whole sukkah is compulsory. Yeah. But if you fill it up with 3 tvachim pasal eschach, will be kosher, because pasal eschach doesn't become pasal till it's 4.